But I would also think that let's not fetishize and call it popsicle and say that this is Sri Lankan English, because language is very porous and it's kind of very fluid. So I am at the stage when I don't even think there's something called English. I mean, there's like this bounded language. Languages are like, how you walk through the street, you are like listening to different, like three-wheeler, Pajero, all kind of things, and you're listening to the honks, and you have to be, particularly in Sri Lanka, you have to be attuned, alert, people are not following rules. So you must judge, you should know how to navigate. And I think that's
I find that your idea that when you told me that you find language porous, I thought that was fantastic, because something porous can always absorb something new. Shermal, so do you come across a lot of instances where we actually speak our kind of English?
Yes, certainly do, and I would agree with Sumathy as well. And I think I would agree with Sumathy in this, which is that I find that if the question, if acknowledging Sri Lankan English means that you are fetishizing a certain, whatever you want to call it, a language or a variety or a dialect, then I think that perhaps would not be useful. But if it is a question that we keep as provisional, and we understand that what we mean by Sri Lankan English is never settled, and that we are constantly debating whether it's a language or a variety or a dialect, what is at stake in deciding any of these things anyway, and that we understand that as it is even now, we have a dictionary of Sri Lankan English, but of course, which and then that in itself, of course, it's not really a dictionary, because it only distinguishes the difference of the Sri Lankan variety from the standard variety, etc. So I think we're looking at a fairly mobile field, and the question itself it's an academic question, it's a political, it's an ideological question, it's a sociological question. So I think we should keep all of that open and keep considering the future of how we go.
I'm now going to put Mrs. Fernando, I think who is the coordinator and the leader of this new program for the president, English as a life skill. What he has quoted, I would just say, and I would ask your opinion on this. A new Sri Lankan ideology of English that sees English for its utility value and not its social worth. English as a skill for employment and a valuable and a vehicle for reaching out to the external world of knowledge and learning. English as a straight and simple tool of communication, stripped of its colonial baggage. English as a common property, a resource to be owned by all. English as a life skill, similar to any other life skill like driving a car or riding a bike. So what are your opinions on English as a life skill, rather than debating on other things about should English be the proper English that we were taught a long time ago, or should English be back again, any more English? Are you going anywhere esoteric or that kind of thing? Are we going to allow that, or Malinda?
Right. Take on from Sumathy the same. You mentioned three-wheelers, three-wheeler, give the signs of three-wheeler. Shegwera say, rebel. What kind of English is that? Is that Argentine? Is that Cuban? Is that Russian? Is that German? Karl Marx? Is that corporate America? Because shades and so many things. Revolution, rebellion, everything has rebels have been appropriated. So rebels in the Arab Street, part of America. So when you make it open, if you take over Sumathy's thing about is there any English, then this whole thing gets thrown open. What Shyamalee is saying is to acknowledge that there's no politics in this whole thing. It's a life skill. It's like learning to type or learning Microsoft how to operate Windows or something like that. It's much more than that. It cannot be limited to that kind of thing. And if you forget the politics, you miss the plot. Because it is political. Now, for example, when Ashok Ferry introduced you to who doesn't know Shyamalee Tudawe? Who doesn't know Ashok Ferry? Does anyone here not know Michael Perry? I haven't heard of Shermal. You have. Haven't you heard of the brave Dr. Sumathy Sivamohan? We have, right? But have you also heard about Malinda, who writes the same kind of Sivamohan who writes? Right? Have you heard of Wijewardene? Have you heard of Arimas Nanavi? Right? We don't know. But we know that Narikutala is free, but Samskriti is not. Now how did that happen? Right? How is it that we know certain things, certain papers, certain authors, certain literatures, certain novels, short stories and poems, but we don't know? Who is the greatest Sri Lankan poetry blogger? I don't know about Tamil bloggers, singer in English. Who is the greatest? Perhaps if I say it's someone called the person who writes a blog called blogspot.com, Sandun Lakma. You may have not heard of it, but you would know wouldn't you, in this undertaking? You would know about brown books, wouldn't you? But there are other bloggers in this cyberspace writings, excellent stuff, poets. Have you heard of Seneviratne, the most versatile writer and singer today? Short stories, plays, novels, biographies, you name it, he does all of them. Now, there's a politics here that I don't think, maybe it's not his mandate, but similar kind of footnotes. I don't think that works.
You were educated on a lot of things just now, Malinda, because like you said, we are sometimes maybe very urban in our thinking and certain things are out there, far more than anything else. So I have now go and refer to the lots of that you preferred and see whether I can get going. But going back to English as a life skill, what did you have to respond to that, Sophie?
Language is not a skill. First of all, language is everything. One, two, so it is about the body. It's about how your body moves. And that comes as one as a politics. It is about exchange, transaction, negotiation, and it's always invested with power. So when somebody says it's a skill that you can kind of, just acquire and use it and then not use it when you don't know it doesn't happen like that. So that's the kind of philosophical base that I come from.
Now for me, I always actually thought, especially for children coming from non-English speaking backgrounds, that it could be taught as a skill. If you go into the model where they have, they teach the children to speak first, rather than our model of we learn to read and write. Like for instance, I was talking to my staff the other day, and most of them have studied English for a good 20 years or more.